Hi! Why do some stories not make a lot of sense in the Bible? Many times it is because we just don't understand the historical and cultural background of the story. When we can answer the question why something happened, a lot of the story will come alive to you. Let's take a look at the story of Elijah with the priest on Mount Carmel. Let's ask and answer some questions, and you will be amazed at how the whole story will come to life. And at the end, I will share something amazing about the name of Elijah. So hang on to the end. You really don't want to miss this. So as I said, the big question is why? If you can answer that, a lot will make sense. Let's illustrate it with a famous passage about Elijah and Ahab and the priest of Baal on Mount Carmel. You can read the passage in 1 Kings 17 and 18. If you don't know the passage, spend a few minutes in reading it. Let me summarize the story very quickly. Elijah had approached King Ahab and told him that it was not going to rain. King Ahab is married to perhaps the most evil queen in history. Her name is Jezebel. She brought the worst type of Baal worship to Israel. They were sacrificing their babies into the fire to the god of Baal. So after 3 years of drought, Elijah makes a challenge to King Ahab. The challenge is to show who is God, Baal or the Lord. Who is the Lord is pretty much always the question in the Old Testament stories. So Elijah's challenge is that they both make an altar on Mount Carmel, and the one who truly is God will answer by consuming the sacrifice with fire. The Israelites were there, and of course God shows himself very strong and consumes the sacrifice of Elijah with fire. Then Elijah prayed for rain, and God answered with lots of rain. So why did the Israelites sacrifice babies to Baal? Well, because Baal was the god of fertility, together with his wife Asherah. The Israelites believed that the rain was the seed of Baal, so they wanted to entice Baal and Asherah to have relations. But what would really cause Baal to mate with Asherah is the blood of babies. Ahab's wife, Jezebel, was from Phoenicia. This is where they practiced sacrificing babies for economic well-being. Next question. Why did Elijah tell Ahab that it was not going to rain in Israel for the next few years? Well, this was to show that the Lord was God and he would provide the rain. It was not dependent on Baal or Asherah. So why did Elijah pick Mount Carmel? Because the Israelites would sacrifice to Baal on high places, like Mount Carmel being a prime example. During this time, it was also very common for people to build temples on high places. Even the temple of Solomon and of Herod were built on top of Mount Moriah. Why did Elijah choose to sacrifice a bull? Because the idol Baal looked like a bull. In reality, he was sacrificing Baal. When God sent down fire, everyone shouted, "The Lord is God." Why did Elijah pray for rain? The answer is to demonstrate that it was the Lord who is God. He provided the rain, not Baal. So why did Elijah build his altar with 12 stones? Well, there were 12 tribes in Israel. He was showing that the Lord was God over all of the 12 tribes in Israel. During this time, the 12 tribes were divided into 2 kingdoms. The northern kingdom was Israel, or the 10 tribes, and the southern kingdom was Judah, or 2 tribes. So God is showing his heart for both kingdoms. So now for the extra. You'll like this. What does Elijah's name mean? It means the Lord is God. El is God and Jah is Jehovah, or Lord. So when the fire came down on the altar, all of the Israelites then fell on their faces and exclaimed, "The Lord is God, the Lord is God." So what does that sound like in the Hebrew? Elijah, Elijah. Pretty neat, isn't it? I will look forward to being with you in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye.